One, two. Okay. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another live stream. Remember, I'm simply doing on the internet. I know nothing. You make your own decisions. So you click the buy button, you click the sell button. You're responsible for your own decisions, right? So let's get into the video. So what we're going to do is we are going to check out your altcoins. So do leave them in the chat. I already see a few of them in the chat. Dix Insider, What's Up Tube Audios, Crypto Slugs. Let's get it. I'm gonna check out the Twitter as well. So either post it in the chat or I will check it out on Twitter as well. So we've got a few requests here. Just quickly to refresh about what is going on with the main ecosystem coins. I made a post earlier on Twitter/X. This is the Ikumoku cloud. This is the settings that I use, 3060. So just to give a quick summary of what this indicator is, it is made by the Japanese to trade commodities, especially rice futures. You know, the Japanese create things that last for a very long time, their cars, their technology, and their indicators as well. The candlesticks themselves are Japanese as well. So the blue line, which is the conversion line, is just the sum of the highest high and the lowest low in the last 30 periods. So the last 30 candles, the average of the highest high and the lowest low. So that is the highest high divided by the lowest low gives you the moving average of here. It's not a moving average, it's not that smooth. The red line, which is the baseline, is the same sum, just 60 periods. So it moves a little bit slower. That is 60 periods back, the highest high divided by the lowest low gives you the average over here of the red line. Now the cloud sum, I'm not quite familiar with it, but the cloud tries to predict where the price will be going in the future. Then you have the green line over here called the lagging span. It is just 30 periods behind the price action. When this is above the price, that is a bullish sign. Generally, traders will only take a trade when it does a bullish cross, like a bullish cross that we have just had now, but only when the price action is above the cloud. But many people do different ways of trading it. Some people just have the conversion and the baseline on the chart, and some people only have the cloud on the chart and will buy breakouts and negative or bearish retests. So they'll wait for it to tap the cloud and then take a short, etc., etc. So for now, this is our first bullish cross that we've had. It tried to cross back here in August, but failed. It never made a clear cross like we have now. So we have one bullish sign on the chart. The lagging span is above the price, or not above the price, because it's in this candle currently. Now you want to see it above the price, but these are good signs for now. We do have some nice price action on the chart here, and I'm just going to remove the Ichimoku cloud because I don't like using it on the short time frames. We can just quickly look at the RSI, and I'm just doing this while all of the requests start flowing in, and we'll get to your altcoin requests. So no bearish divergences to speak of just yet. There was some bearish divergences back here as the price went higher or lower and the indicators went higher, but I think this bearish divergence has now been played off. There were some nice W's here on the RSI and on the price action. We got some follow through. There is a bit of rejection here. I'm pretty sure it went off the 61.8 or the 7. So against the short location, this is the opposite of the reload zone, right? This is the reload zone in the short location. This is where the bears will go short, and it's played out for them. It doesn't mean we can't go higher. We can look at shorter time frames if we have some bearish divs there. Nothing on the 4 hourly, maybe on the 1 hourly. Yeah, so bearish divergence is playing out here as the price went higher. So on the short term, a bit of consolidation, and we've gotten that rejection now. So let's see if it holds up at these levels, so we can have a little bit more price action on the upside. I should have actually looked at BTC. let's just quickly look at the macro. BTC still holding above 28K. We really need this to hold above 28,500. This is the Ichimoku on the 1 day. Actually, it's above the cloud. Just going to remove this. Yeah, we really needed this to hold above and maybe close candles above the 28,500 level. It's been rejecting a few times. This is a massive W, as you can see. We need candles to close above here, but it's struggling to break out over here. On the Bitcoin dominance, we talked about this yesterday. For our altcoins, especially Pulse Chain, to do well, we need this to break down, right? So on the daily, there is this bearish divergence still valid. I'm just going to pull up another because it was invalidated earlier today, but it's gone down a little bit now. So that was 76.25, 76. Okay, so this bearish divergence is still in play as price action is higher and the indicator is going lower. This is important to see bearish divergence here so we can get continuation to the downside. That would be bullish for the altcoins, right? And I can't be bullish on bearish on Bitcoin if the altcoins look like they want to rally, right? When Bitcoin rallies, the altcoins tend to lose dominance, so the dominance will go higher on this chart, or the chart will go higher. But it seems like the altcoins want to do a bit of a rally, and if Bitcoin wants to dump on the other side, I know this is getting a bit complex. I don't see the altcoins really don't do well in that situations, because if Bitcoins goes down 5%, the altcoins do 10%, etc., right? But there's a strong bearish divergence on the weekly chart as well for the Bitcoin dominance, as the price action is higher, yet the weekly is forming bearish divergence. Not only that, this is generally where the altcoin season or the altcoins do top out. We can see the same happen back here in the previous cycle. This was the start of DeFi season up here. And then Bitcoin ran insanely hard all the way into December of that year of 2020. They literally topped out on the new year. And then the altcoin we had the insane altcoin season, right, that we all know of. And now this is in the same area as these areas up here on the weekly chart, right? So that is very good to see. I don't really expect major insane runs for the altcoins after the halvening, right? And not after Bitcoin makes a new all-time high. So maybe we just consolidate in these areas for the next few months, eh? And if you want to have your coins looked at earlier, I don't know if I'm going to get to everything, so we'll wrap that analysis off here. And yeah, do drop a super chat. It doesn't have to be a lot, just so I can see it and get to it early. And speaking of that, we have DJ9 or DJ Knight. He says, "Hi Ansi, do you have an update analysis on the BYTC please on Pulse Chain?" Yeah, and let's do that for you. Just quickly, what I noticed on the PulseX chart is this is a breakout, right? You can see the level over here. This is a breakout level. Now this is PulseX versus Pulse, right? The ratio trade. And this is a breakout here, and you've got a measured move all the way to the 2.36 at 2.9. So it looks like Pulse X actually wants to rally against Pulse Chain. This tells me that we have been in a bit of a Pulse Chain altcoin season, because everything has been rallying like crazy, right? And I'm pretty sure we'll see it in the chart. We saw yesterday in the chart as well. So yeah, let's get to BYTC for the gentleman in the chat. Up 46% on the day. Pulse Bytecoin, I think we looked at it yesterday. It has rallied. Oh yeah, I remember we looked at this because it had this funny wick over here. Excuse me. It says wrapped, switch to wrapped pulse, because we want to farm more rapid pulse on, or pulse on while we are still in the bear market or still consolidating. So you're starting to see nice higher lows here on the line chart, right? We're going to disregard what happened here. I don't know what the story is behind that. 3K liquidity, market cap 17K. Not bad. We're up 46% on the day. This is the 4-hourly chart. We've got higher lows, right? This is what you want to see on the chart, like all of these higher lows. Maybe this one even holds here. And we've got that breakout level from yesterday as well. So you want to see candles close above this 21 pulse per BYTC. If you start closing candles here, you might get a breakout and a retest, and off you go. But yeah, this is starting to look good. The RSI is in no man's land pretty much. We don't really know what is going to happen there. But so far so good. You've got higher lows. You're pretty much in the zone where you should be interested, right? If we pull it from here, we are still inside of the reload zone. Your reload zone is the area over here. We'll just mark that with a rectangle for us. So you're not only in it, you are below it. So this is where the granny should be interested if this is something that she wants to get. You're starting to form higher lows. The RSI is not really bearish, not really bullish. Don't really have any indicators. The RSI shows momentum is to the upside, so definitely more to go over here. On the hourly, also turning up. Looks like it has more on the shorter term as well. Yeah, it does not look bad. So definitely I can't fault the little old lady if she wanted to get some here, the granny. And yeah, it actually does not look bad. You've got momentum to the upside. You haven't broken out just yet. If the granny was not yet allocated, she will wait for it to close above this green horizontal ray over there, and maybe she can even wait for a retest and then go long. So yeah, it doesn't look bad. It's come all the way down. It's creating a base here, and don't get impatient, right? The longer we move sideways in these areas and the longer it defends its lows, the more positive it is. Let me just pull up a straight line, maybe something like that. The longer it consolidates, the more aggressive the move to the upside will be. So generally the market does get impatient, or retail gets quite impatient, but this is very, very healthy consolidation. Doesn't mean it has to happen here, but that's very positive if you do see it on the chart. So I think that's good for that. So let's look at Poor Pleb. So I just sold a double on Poor Pleb. The reason why these are pumping, Pulse Doge is also pumping, because, and where did the ETH go? I told you about this. If it wasn't the previous stream, it was the one before that these coins will catch a bid, because 9inch is launching pretty soon. It seems like all of the hype is there. Let's just switch to Wrapped Pulse. Now this has now already left the station. Hopefully this loads, and if it doesn't, I don't know why it's not. But like I said, I have now sold my double that I got in this area. It was around here. We can still see it marked on the chart. I bought at 0.07 and I've now sold at 0.14. I've now got a free position in this coin and I'll let it run. It's not an insanely large position, so it's not going to earn me a lot of BBC, which is the incentive token. And I'll just take my free position and my free pulse that I got out of it. I've now got a risk-free position in this coin, and I'll just let it run. And if it wants to retrace, I can buy more when it gets back to the 61.8. You just, it would look something like that. Wherever this stops out, if it tops out here or if it tops out up here, I've got a new reload zone, right, to get in when it gets back to that position. Maybe I get another double off at 28. Maybe it goes all the way up there. Then I've got another free position, or more. That would not be a free position. That would be more profits, right, from literally nothing. And when it comes out, this is, once again, I'll say it again, this is going to be buy the rumor, sell the news event. especially the way they're shilling it, how hard they're shilling it now. Everybody's talking about it. So yeah, that is per pleb. The RSI starting to get into the extreme bought areas. There's no bearish divergences to speak of. We can look at the shorter time frames, nothing on the 4 hourly. There is bearish divergence on the 1 hourly, but that can just mean some consolidation sideways. But expect a blow off top when 9-inch gets launched and people can see that there is a farm for this, and that is when people will start taking their profits. Hopefully I get another double, and I expect that's most likely going to be happening. This has been a nice consolidation, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when I say you want to see consolidation like this. Sideways consolidation with higher lows. That's bullish. And the longer you consolidate, the more explosive the move will be. This move is now holding up because people don't want to take their profits. But I just literally trade like an algorithm. When I'm in a double, I'm going to take my... And I have to force myself sometimes. I was second guessing myself today. Maybe I should hold it for the farm, etc. And I'm just like, no. I've got plans to execute different plans for when the farms come out, and I've posted them in my Telegram chat. That is something that you're interested, you can go to my profile and you will see it's the pin tweet over here. You can get 50% off if you pay in crypto. It's lifetime access, so I think it's a pretty good deal. And the guys in my chat have, they can vouch for it. They've made their money back and more, I guess. So that's per pleb. I don't think I can cover all of you. I don't think that would be fair for the other guys if I cover all of your charts. We looked at Texan yesterday, so I'm not going to look at it again. I really want to take a look at Weight token because it has really performed well. Weight is the 0x Coast guys. This is a fiat on-ramp. They have their own stablecoin called the CSD. This has been a steady uptrend and it's not cheap here. This is still the nosebleed section. We should have been interested in these areas down here below. It gave you a chance, but has now taken off again. This is a V bottom here, so expect it to come back to retest these levels. There's a large gap here, a fair value gap, and I would expect this level to be retested 11 weight per PLS. So the RSI doesn't look bad. It's a little bit in no man's land. It's never gotten to the extreme oversold areas or extreme sold areas. It got really oversold at the areas above here. It's just not value for the granny over here. I need to wait for it to come down to my levels. This is where most of the volume is traded. You can see this red line over here. That is called the point of control. Sometimes the market will come back to these areas where most of the buying happened. And there's a few large volume nodes here, so lots of support are going to come in at these levels. And I would love to get some down here. I should have this on my watch list, but it's not, and I added it to my watch list. HOC is here, and I'll just quickly look at HOC for you, because someone asked me to take a look at this a while ago. So this is a 3-day chart. You see these coins, when they launched, it's actually better, and I said this last time as well, for these to do a steady run-up instead of a massive run-up, and then you're going to get the accumulation phase after a massive run-up like this. Nothing wrong with that, but you can just pull up a fib tool. I mean, you're at the bottom of the range. But on the short term, this has kind of left the station, right? I would wait. This is a V bottom. Markets don't like bottoming on V markets. I would wait for the area here to come back to get some more, or to get into this coin, HOC. I don't hear anybody speaking about it on Twitter, so not quite sure. 15k liquidity, large market cap, not massive, 125k market cap, not bad. A nice little recovery, but I can't chase it here. I need to wait for it to come back here. Once again, this is a V bottom. If you put on the line chart, you can see a cute little W down here, which gave it enough strength to run. But on the candlestick chart, this is a V bottom, as that was a new low, and it just ratted off it. It would look really, really good if you can consolidate, come back here, and then you would have this massive W on the chart. So that would be a very, very strong base for this to run into the future. So that was HOC. Okay, let's go to the chat before we go over here. Okay, so Dixon Insider said HOC, so we've got some confidence there. Please check out RLB Roll Bitcoin. I know it's late to the party, but how late am I? Is this on Pulse Chain? RLB Roll Bitcoin, okay. 4 million liquidity, 3 months old. So it trades on Ethereum. I don't mind looking at it. Let's look at it versus wrapped Ethereum, because if you're trading on Ethereum, you want to make more ETH. You need to outperform the native coin. So it's not come back to the reload zone just yet. You've still got lower highs, which is technically a downtrend. You're bouncing off this horizontal here. Let's put on the RSI for you. So you're late, but you're not massively late. But as a granny, I can't get it here. Let's see where most of the volume was traded on this coin. Large volume node here, and you've already lost that. So another one at the 61.8 and then just there. So there are your support levels. Wait for the, I would wait for the 61.8 and dollar cost average down here. The RSI is still very high. We would want to see this for a good deal to come back to the extreme sold areas. We can then look at the stochastic RSI perhaps. This seems like it wants to roll over again. This is an M, the opposite of a W. Because this is still lower highs, so the downtrend is still in play. I would have to wait for these levels down here, unfortunately. I can't be chasing up here because you might just be buying a double top here and it rolls over. Around what levels would the squeaky old lady be interested in some internet money? Internet money has been rallying against Pulse Chain. It hasn't really given you chance to get back in. Don't know if this is the main pair. Let's just switch to Wrapped Pulse. Is consolidating. Now look how this has already taken off, right? So she would be interested in this. It's falling inside of a reload zone now, so there's a larger gap here, so I would expect it to fill it all the way down here at least. This is probably where I would start dabbling in internet money. Now this is versus Pulse, right? Because we want more Pulse. We can look at where the volume is traded. Below the 88.6 level. So how the granny would treat this is she can blindly buy her levels, and her first buy would be here, putting in like a small percentage, having more in the tank for when it goes lower, and buying all of these lines down here. Or she can wait for it to consolidate, create a nice higher low, and when it breaks above its higher high and closes above it, she can go long there. Or wherever this happens, if this happens inside of the reload zone, that's still fine. If it happens a little bit lower below it, that's still fine. If she's going to catch a falling knife by getting some now, just put it more accurately and extend the lines, right? It's bouncing off the 61.8. Oh, it hasn't touched just yet. So it's starting to get in where you should be interested, right? But it does look like it can go a lot lower. But that is why the granny or the little old lady, she just nibbles very, very small percentages. That's not going to affect her overall value or overall portfolio. Less than 5%, and even like 0.5%, it's very, very acceptable to put in that small amount, right? You've got a nice little W that formed back here, and maybe even here. right? You've got this nice little W here, W's inside of W's. When you finally broke out, this is still, like I said, if the market comes down and tests these areas, it's called a sign of strength in Wyckoff accumulation theory. Still very, very bullish and very, very healthy, in fact. Markets pump and markets consolidate and retrace. Very, very normal. I like this chart actually. I should be more interested in this, and I'll put it on my watch list as well. I'll put an alert down here at the 9,000 area to get some, in fact. Good liquidity, volume slowing down, lots of sellers here still. Yeah, so it doesn't look bad, dude. What's up, Abit? Crypto Frontier wants us to look at XRP for him. Why not? Let's look at it versus USD. So this is the weekly chart. It's on log, so let's just remove the log. You are inside of the reload zone, right? Well below it. So that is the first thing we have to look for. On the shorter time frame, after the SEC news, you've now come down, which is healthy. On the short term, you're also inside of the reload zone, so that's another healthy thing. You've got W's on the chart. You've got positive divergences, which is the third and the final indicator we need to look out for if we want to start nibbling on a coin, putting in a few percentages in a coin. You've got on balance volume still going higher. Do we have OBV divergence? 31 billion 300. So price is higher. 3 billion. Yet the indicator is lower. So that's bullish divergence on OBV. So you've got location, which is we're in the reload zone. You've got indicator confirmation and you've got market structure. So this is where the granny will be getting some, but this does not mean she will get her double or sell half on a double overnight. This can take months to play out, but this is where she should be interested. You've got market structure, you've got a W breakout, it's come back into the reload zone. There's literally nothing negative I can say about this. I don't know how many doubles you're going to get about inside of this coin, on this coin, but still this is where she should be interested if this is something that she wanted. Not buying on the news, maybe taking some profits on the news. Now this is XRP versus BTC. Once again, you're inside the reload zone, you've got higher lows, you've got hidden bullish divergence here, it's not enough to reverse the trend. I mean, yeah, what more can I say? This is where you should be interested. And the granny will just sell halves on doubles. Now this is versus BTC. Her first double would be in this area over here. And then she will have a free position in this coin. And there you go. Also, I'm hearing Burut's shilling mega the last few days. I'm afraid I'm too late because he's already in. Still, how's the chat looking? So, in my chat, I told my guys about mega before the launch, and I told them Burut's was going to shill it. Although I sat up 2 days watching the Telegram for it to launch, and the third night where I was like, screw that, I'm going to sleep, it actually launched. So I missed the launch, and I was pretty negative about missing it. So I didn't wait for, I actually was looking at the chart when it got into my reload zone and never took the shot, but it's fine. I don't mind it. You can see it's even still pulled up on my chart. We can switch to wrapped ETH. You can see my reload zones are on the chart. This is where you should have been interested, dude. I mean, Dixon, I repeat myself over and over and over. It gave you a chance, but you probably didn't know about it back here. This is where you should have been interested, right? It has now left the station. You're too late. B-Roots is shilling it. When B-Roots has been shilling it, he's already in position and he's taking profits, right? This is too late. Unfortunately, we don't have an RSI because the supply is so large. Still, this is a reflection token, like Safe Moon. Generally, these things have a massive pump, then slowly bleed out over time. Just look at the Safe Moon chart, and Safe Moon went super viral, super viral, like had, and that is what these coins need, is because they reflect supply back to holders, and the larger holder you are, the more you get, and it's reflects tokens into the liquidity pool as well, increasing the liquidity pool, giving the large holders a nice cushion to exit out to. I don't know where this is going to top out. We can do fib extensions on this. You can see the 1.618 has acted as resistance pretty nicely. Actually, literally touched it once, did a little bit retracement, going higher again. So maybe you hit the 2.618. For the granny, the risk has increased. It's very risky for her here because it might just stop out, consolidate, and before taking off again. All she can do here is, unfortunately, is sit on her hands and wait. But this is only for the granny. I don't know what your risk appetite is. I don't know if you're looking for 10% wins, 20%, 30% wins. I'm looking for 100% wins. So that means I need to wait for these massive retracements before getting into the chart. And you see, you can see, like back here, that was my chance to get in, but I never got in. Sometimes I don't listen to my own rules, unfortunately, but that is being human, right? You make mistakes, even if you have a very good strategy. That is where you need to wait, right? In this area here, you're too late. I wish I could see the RSI, but it's probably very oversold at these areas. Yeah, it's dangerous. And you have to, I unfortunately have to wait for a pullback. Let's find a gem today that is actually in value. Rule number 1, buying zone. Exactly a bit. Please, guys, give me a good coin that is in a reload zone. Actually, I'll give you guys a little bit of a Pulse Doge. This is also going to be a coin that is going to be listed on the farms for 9-inch. We are inside of the reload zone, so that first location is there. We can look for bullish divergences. So no bullish divergences, but at least you have location. We had this nice little W and it came back and retested it, bounce off again. But the reason I'm looking at this is because it hasn't really become really expensive just yet. It still has room to the upside. It's inside of the reload zone. It has a buy the rumor, sell the news event coming up. And we can see Poor Pleb has already left the station. And PLD not really. Where did the ETH go? Has already kind of... Is it WHDH? Yeah. Where did the ETH go? This is also going to be having a farm. But you can see this is gone, right? Very oversold. Let's look at wrapped balls. Not oversold, extreme bought areas. You can see this beautiful little W here. Although this wick down here is a little bit disgusting. But if we put it on the line chart, we can see the good market structure, the higher lows. And there you go. It's already gone. So we can see Poor Pleb has left its reload zone. We can see that Poor Pleb has done the same as we've just looked at it previously at the start of the stream. And then the only one that is still in value and hasn't really taken off yet, although this is a 32% candle, it's not really left its reload zone just yet. So yeah, this is the only one that I think still looks reasonable, although it has already had a 34% bump in the day. I don't think many people are looking at this one as it's the more obscure one. This is an OG one. This was like the first meme coin created for the Shill to the Hex community. So yeah, 9-inch. Yeah, it will be super. Mintra. So I didn't sacrifice for Mintra. It was a large sacrifice, 10 million. I would expect a successful launch, maybe a double or even two doubles on the chart. But if I did sacrifice it, I would be selling halves on double, getting my free position out on the coin, and waiting for the reload zone to get back in. It's going to look like all of the sacrifices. Like this has played out. Like I've done it with the Piteous, I've done it with the Fame, with the what other sacrifice? Beets, beetroot, all of those sacrifices. They launch well, they do a double, maybe two doubles. I sell halves on doubles and I wait for an 80 to 70% retracement and get back in. And it's going to play out exactly like that, mark my words. Thanks, Dixon. Do click the like and the subscribe. DJ Knight, it's my pleasure. Sticking to your long-term strategy is the exactly. What are your thoughts on Maria, the one that made a week and has mooned a few times and has a few pairs? So this is the first time I've heard about it. I know the this looks like a rug pull because the liquidity is so low. This is probably playing off the Atropa ecosystem because, yeah, I'm not going to look at this. All of this liquidity is way too low. So they're trying to go off the, how do you say, like Maria is the dev, apparently the dev on the Icosa ecosystem. So there's going to be rip-off coins. Doing exceptionally well. The funny thing is, like, I give these great calls. Like, we can look at it, like, look at my call on this coin, like even before it topped out, right? Like, this was my original post. Look what the date is here. When it was still at 63 pulse per hour. Yeah, that was the right chart. Like, I put it on Twitter. 68 hour. Literally, I called it that this is where I would be interested, right? And once again, it's not that hard because it's simply the reload zone, right? And look how beautifully it came into your reload zone. And a nice little W here. You had no bullish divergences, which is fine. You had your location. You could have literally got it right there. And that's what I said I wanted to have it, like right there at 20. And look how beautifully it came right into 2024. This is the retest, the 32. It went a little bit below it. And most of the volume was traded here at 23 as well. So yeah, how am I here, please? Too Spooky said no promises, but it got there. And now, if you bought this area, you're up 500%. Your first double was here, free position. Your second double, 5,612, second double. So you've got two doubles already. You've got a free position in this coin. And now it's too late to chase this, right? What can you see here on the chart? We didn't have bearish divergences yesterday or the day before that. I stream every second day, but we do have bearish divergences now. As the RSI topped out at 75, it's now at 74, yet the price is still higher. This is bearish divergence. It's not confirmed yet. It will only be confirmed once the price action breaks below and closes below 123 and closes below 64. So this is late, right? You're in extreme bought areas. This doesn't mean it can't go higher. I mean, look back here. It got even more oversold all the way to 80. But this is starting to get dangerous. You can't be chasing up here. And even on the shorter time frame, it's even more exaggerated, the downtrend on the RSI, yet we're still higher. So yeah, once again, this doesn't mean it's over here, but you've missed the boat, unfortunately. Hopefully you guys got some down here. That's why you guys need to follow my Twitter at least, because I give these insane calls often. So there's a request for PDI. Looks like everybody has forgotten about the Atropa ecosystem. Oh, and Teddy Bear continues to bleed. I actually got some of these coins back here because it was inside my reload zone, but I don't mind sitting underwater. I am a very patient old lady. And if it goes to 0, I don't mind. In fact, we are at the point of control now. This is where most of the volume was traded in this area. This is Teddy Bear. And if you were a Teddy Bear fan, this is where you should be interested, right? But no one is interested in it now. No one is talking about it. And that is what I said exactly would happen up here, when everybody was tuning me for being bearish on this. Die. P-die. Let's go to Rapid Pulse. Still in a steady downtrend, not really oversold yet. We're below the point of control. We're trying to hold on to the 78.6 level. If this area fails, you're going to the next area down here. In fact, maybe this one here. So yeah, not begging just yet, eh? But once again, I got some up here somewhere. Once again, I'm underwater, but I don't mind. If it goes to 0, I risked a very small amount of my PLS. I'm fine with that going lower. And yeah, this is why you need to wait for consolidation for market structure. You have some Ws. You still have higher lows on this chart, but it's very precarious. It can easily collapse through these levels. What's up, BP? Dragon X ticker is on Pulse Chain. Dragon X. Here we go. Liquidity, not interesting. I can't put that in front of you guys, like 76% chance. I'm low key. The strongest sub community on Pulse Chain just made a few all-time high billion-dollar anonymous marketing agents would describe it best. This is where I spend most of my time when I'm live. I expect that's probably Hoa, right, Abed? Yeah, the Hoa community is insane, and I knew I had to look at the chart, and I failed once again. PDI or Teddy? Teddy is more cheap than PDI currently, as it's still making lower lows. Hi Hans, look at Genie. I think Maria Rapi's smallest pair that works on. Did you Naga recommend smoke? I don't like Naga bow that much, dude. Is this his coins? Like I saw the guy shill it. This is the 4-hour chart. I mean, oh my god. Massive wick. You're inside the reload zone. You should have been getting it down here. But it's come down now. I mean, wait for it to retest this level here. It's already done it once. Wait for it to get down there. That's all I say about him. Genie. I'm going to look at Genie quickly because that, yeah. The thing I don't like about Genie is because they made an illiquid shitcoin and accepted it as sacrificed, manipulated the price up, giving themselves a massive allocation in this coin. That if you're interested in it, that this is where you should be getting it. Yeah, and that's all I say about it. It's inside of your reload zone. Hex on both chains. Hex pumping up nicely today. Um, let's start. So this is EHEX trading on Pulse chain. It's broken all over these support levels. Created a small little W. You can see the little W here. Popped off nicely. I didn't expect this, but you should have been interested when you see price going lower, yet the indicator is going higher. This is strong bullish divergence for a very, very long time on this chart. Not only there, it's on the volume as well. As price goes lower, the volume is still increasing. In fact, if you see this on the on balance volume, and there's bullish divergence here, someone is slowly accumulating this secretly, right? And we can see now he's made his print on the chart. Strong bullish divergence, right? We had like X doesn't give you the greatest chance, and I've seen this happen before. It makes the small W and boom, off it goes. So this is hex EHEX on pulse chain. Let's just switch it to the ratios. Now EX is getting oversold versus PHEX here, right? Massive pop here. Yeah, still just trading in this range. It's not really much to say about it. I think it will continue to oscillate in these areas. Maybe switch some into PX when we get above this level here. That is 2 pulse per PX, I think, the ratio. We're at that now. We should just invert this pair. So yeah, I mean, I'm struggling to find words, but this is just going to be the same story throughout the cycle. We're just gonna, don't be surprised if we just do like this throughout. A very boring chart. Let's look at Hex for you on pulse chain. Really not up on the day, but still we've got higher lows, and this is now another higher low if it can hold here. Nothing really interesting will be happen unless we break above. This is a shorter time frame breakout over here, and then we've got another breakout level. This is the real breakout level, because we've got W's inside of W's here. You can see a large W here. This one hasn't confirmed yet until we break up here. Then we've got a shorter time frame W, which is forming here, and this breaks out over here. So yeah, it looks good. You've got good market structure. You've got W's forming. Like I said, like I would be very, very fine if we just move sideways in this area until past the halvening and until Bitcoin hits an all-time high. This is going to give us a very, very strong base to rally off into the bull market. And what you don't want to see is don't want these lows to be defeated, right? And this looks really healthy. This is good market structure. We're just consolidating sideways. Very, very good. Hoa's cooking, Hoa to $7. All the Hoa guys are here in the chart. When everybody's euphoric like that, maybe take a little bit of profits. Guys, I don't hate coins. I don't date it. I just trade them, right? And the granny guys are very, very great, good friends with Hoa. I like to spooky is a legend. Never too late. Hans, please talk about Raptor BTC price targets. So I think I missed you last time because I couldn't get to everybody. And like I always say, this is an anomaly. Raptor BTC is so volatile. So targets into the future. Is this a valid W? Yeah, so you do have a nice little W here. you're inside the reload, slightly above it. Unfortunately, it's kind of taken off now. On the longer time frame, you're still in the reload zone. So targets. I mean, you can do fib extensions of these retracements, and maybe we can see if some of them line up. So you've got some price targets lining up here. Maybe we can even do a retracement of this level here. That, yeah, so my first price target, if this breaks above the 5 million area, you're looking at 7 million. And then you've got the all-time high, probably next, at 10 million. And then you've got some nice confluence here as well. So yeah, there's your price targets. Now this is just a little bit of fun, right? It's very hard, but these levels will act as resistance. And if the price finds support at these levels, you can expect the next target to be hit. But we can't talk about that at all unless we are inside of our reload zone. Overall, you are in the reload zone, but I would really want this to get into a shorter time reload zone. So you kind of missed the boat already. You should have been getting some here. Like in this area over here. Kind of left the station already, but what is a few pulse between friends, right? Maybe you can chase a little bit there. This is not the worst chase ever, but this is your breakout level, so maybe you can even wait for a retest. That would still be valid for the granny, and it would look something like that. Maybe you get a retest at the breakout level, and off you go, because that is called a sign of strength. So this has been 52 minutes. I haven't checked PayPay yet. I can look at PayPay for you. Up 20% on the day. Let's switch to Wrapped Pulse. Yeah, Wrapped Pulse has been a really nice one to trade. I mean, this looks good. You've been consolidating for a long time. The volume is still positive. You've got bullish divergences on the OBV as price has been going down. You can see lower levels here. Let's just be more accurate. In fact, it's even more aggressive. You've got price going lower, yet the indicator is higher. So that's a strong bullish divergence. You're in the location, like this is where you should be interested, right? You're well below the reload zone, which is here. I know there are some PayPay fans, and I've got PayPay as well. Been accumulating it all the way down. Yeah, I mean, that looks good. You don't really have a W just yet. A small little W down here, like on the Rhine chart, you can see it there. That was enough to push up the price here. The RSI is a little bit in no man's land, but this is where we should be interested if this is what something we want. Yeah, it looks good. We've had a long sideways consolidation. I mean, even if we consolidate a little bit longer here, that would still be good. Maybe move here for a while. And the longer the sideways consolidation, the more aggressive the move to the upside will be. I think Hans will say we have lost the value zone through PayPay. No, we're still in value for PayPay. It still looks good. If you really want cheap prices, you can pull a fib tool from this area on the shorter time frame, because we've had this nice little rally here, and maybe wait for it to come down here on the shorter term frame. But on the long time frame, you're technically still in value. But the little old lady does look like cheap prices. So on the short term, yeah, you have kind of left value. So maybe wait for this area, because the granny does love cheap prices. So maybe get it down there. BCH. How's it put? Got a few to take a look at. So another South African here. Magic, Rascal, Smoke, and Rasta. We did smoke. Okay, thanks for logging now. Pepe's biggest pair is Hoa. Okay, so that's interesting because Pepe's only got 5k liquidity here. Oh, huh. There is a 37k liquidity pair here on version 2. Very interesting. Of course, it would be larger. So that's very, very positive, right? And Hoa has Hoa has 87k. Damn. Okay, so there's lots of liquidity for Pepe. Like, I should really get some more when we get back to this level. That is really, really healthy if we have that much liquidity for Pepe. Because I look at the V1 pair because this has all the history, right? That's the only reason that why we're looking at this pair. So just be aware that there is sufficient liquidity on the other pairs. That looks really, really good. With that being said, I think I'm going to finish this. I'm a little bit tired. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. We will do this again in 2 days' time. So subscribe so you don't miss it. Click the like button if you enjoyed this analysis. And Dixon asked me next time for BCH. I know we looked at it a while ago, but we'll look at it again, okay? Because it looked quite good. And it's actually time to start looking at your Binance pairs. I know people don't like about trading on centralized exchanges, but I think I'm going to put a little bit of money on Binance just to have fun with all of those other altcoins as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to always play from a position of strength and please do not get wrecked. I'll see you guys in the next video.